Hi everybody, welcome back to Commonwealth. Flipper, I'll tell you what, I don't do this really ever, but today's the day. I just can't help it. It's kind of glaring a little bit, and I don't call people out, but I'm going to call somebody out today. I usually don't use names, and I might not use names today, but if you're around reselling circles, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Such a nice day out there. I hate to get negative, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, you know what I mean? And I've already said that I usually don't call names. This was not sitting on top, by the way. It was down there. And I don't think we'll do that today either, but you know what? I read some of the comments about this person. I'm like, holy freaking moly, man. You know, it's not the same common things that you hear about other folks all the time. Like, well, I'll tell you in a minute. These lures right here, a little batch of old lures, nothing amazing. Sold for $24.95 plus shipping. You know, you often get the critiques of I don't know, influencer resellers or whatever, and there's some stuff that just universally we're all kind of cringe at. Maybe not universally, because I guess people do it. But what's turned me off always are the folks that do the, you know, I'm selling you a complete guide to reselling. Hey, Pepper's here. And I'm, you know, going to do this course, and it's $400 or whatever. I don't know. That stuff always kind of strikes me the wrong way, if you know it. So it's not those typical things that you hear out there that a lot of people, it's not the folks that promise this much on a live sale and then they send you garbage or whatever. It's not all those kind of things. It's those little things that kind of add up that make me feel like I got to warn you about this. I got to go out to the other shed. I'm kind of embarrassed to take you in here, actually. But I think I'm going to, because I gotta go get this ashtray, and I'll let you see my giant mess. Sold an ashtray, y'all. I think this is the right one. Either it's Murano or it sure as heck looks like it. Oh, I forgot I was gonna show you the mess. There you go. What do you think of that? You know, one thing most people can't stand is somebody who acts like an expert in stuff and just doesn't know anything at all. Especially if you're in the reselling business and you don't know anything about, you know, antiques. You don't know anything about glass. You don't know anything about LPs. You don't know anything about cards. And you're out there acting like you know what the heck you're talking about. This one sold for $45.90 plus shipping. You know, you got to look for those signs. You got to look for the signs in some of these reseller folks. You know, signs that they're a sellout. They're willing to promote anything. They're willing to do ads. They're willing to make money with affiliate links. All that stuff. This is a golf. Look at this, y'all. This one right here is in terrible condition with the grip. And the club isn't even great, but it's a good club. It's a Cleveland club, 53 degree. And so it didn't sell for a ton, but it sold for 20 bucks plus shipping. Look out for a person like this who they won't even take a position on important reselling matters like shipping, for instance, you know, free shipping, calculated shipping, you know, and it's all in fear that they're gonna make somebody mad, so they won't even take a position. Nike dry fit panties, I think, used to be Turner's, and they didn't sell on full price. They sold for $10.46 plus shipping. A pair of used Nike pants, baseball. This particular guy's got the audacity to go on there and tell people what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, and you know, this is the way to resell, and it just drives me crazy. So, you know, low ASP stuff, for instance, this is something, you know, if you've been reselling for a while and you're still selling low ASP stuff, you ought to stop following jerks like this guy. Honestly, it's just kind of infuriating when you got a lot of great resellers out there that do things the right way, you know. Average sales price, like I said, low sell-through rate is the other one. This guy's just constantly just disregarding. Expressions International sweater, and that one's cool. I love that one. Took a long time to sell though, for sure, but it did sell full price, $18.95 plus shipping, and it sold out of season too. I mean, I know I'm not naming names, but the comments on this guy's videos, it's just, I just can't see how anybody follows this guy. You suck. You're ruining deals for people who actually want stuff. They want it themselves instead of trying to flip it. Buy things at yard sales that you want only. Check this one out. Ripping off children at yard sales goes to show the morality of slime ball wastes of oxygen. You know, I don't know about you, but if this person is out there you know, and you are following reselling content, these are the kind of comments, these are the people you should steer clear of. I had to go in and get the next item, but Joe says that this guy only buys garbage. And then what makes it even worse is he passes this stuff off to the people who watch them, and then they go out and buy this garbage, and they're stuck with it for the rest of their lives. I thought the next one was inside, but it's actually here because I brought it out here already. Harley lot right there. A couple of t-shirts is all. Nothing amazing. Sold as a lot on discount, $16.10 plus shipping. The more I read these makes me really, I think I might just call them out by name by the end of this video, but I know a lot of you are figuring out which guy I'm talking about. You know, the guy that leads all the folks astray. I had some back there, but this one right here. Making people think that they can get top dollar for stuff that just because he can, because look, let's just face it. Anybody's got a YouTube channel, most of their sales are going to viewers, and you know, it's just not realistic. These are Arctic tumblers. I bought these for, I think, $2 a piece. I think they wanted 3, and I bought them all just because it'd be a multi-quantity listing. They're only selling for $12.95 plus shipping. So leading those new folks astray is kind of a telltale sign right off the bat. And again, those viewer sales too. I mean, come on. If you're getting viewer sales at, say, like, you know, 20, 25% of your sales, how can you go out there and say this is the way to do it to anybody who's watching you? This one went to Brian. He says, thank you for providing interesting information and informative content. I'm fairly new to reselling, and your insights have been very helpful. I appreciate your thoughtful approach to topics that you discuss. Thanks again, Brian. Brian, and you grabbed that lowball stainless steel double wall tumbler, and you got it for $12.95 plus the 5% discount with the coupon. So you used code Commonwealth. Appreciate that, and hope you enjoy it. Another little sign that should set you off with folks that think they're important out there on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all those places. If they're willing to bring politics and religion into stuff all the time, it's definite time to run away. This one's been sitting around a while, y'all, but I only paid $2 for it. And I thought it was pretty cool. You know, I love history. I like Ike, and they would give these out, a little bracelet, little charm, a couple of buttons right there, and a picture of Ike. A lot of these are hard to sell independently, you know, when in doubt, part it out kind of thing. But if you put them all together, you'll get enough interest in it, somebody can get a deal, and you might find the right buyer over time. And it took a while, probably 6 months, but we sold it for just under $21 plus shipping. I gave you more treats than I gave any. There's more out there. Why don't you go out there? Speaking of Ike, he's one of the most beloved, even though a lot of folks don't agree with everything that he did. There's still an admiration. It has certainly to do with World War II and the aftermath. The military-industrial complex gets a little controversial and stuff, but people really truly did like Ike. You know, people that are willing to sell stuff under 15 bucks, stuff that's low sell-through rate, that is a dying brand, or not a brand, a dying category, and then go on YouTube or wherever else and suggest that other people do it. You know, those are the folks that you need to watch out for. So this is a pretty cool little cat hat, and it's not cleaned. You can see it's got a little dirt in it, but it's got good structure to it. It's old. It's got the cat logo on it. Double snapback in the back. So for $14.95 plus shipping. It's the kind of guy that if you follow him and do what he says or do what he shows, you're going to end up putting your stuff on deep discount in order just to get it gone. I love selling G.I. Joe stuff, especially from my childhood. And this one right here is from what is this year on this one? 1985. Disposal vehicle. It's like a trash vehicle. I don't know what the heck it is. And it sold on heavy discount, 30% off, sold for $17.46 plus shipping. And they even lack just common decency out there, not just, you know, making deals with kids or older people, but taking a camera onto private property and making a video of it. This one I picked up at a sale down in Florida. It's a milk frother, and they had decent prices on stuff, so I just started buying a few things and hoping I did okay. And this one seemed to do all right. Sold for $26.95. Hey, we got a buddy in here. How you doing? You know, hypocrisy is always a telltale sign. So if somebody says, you know, hey, this is the printer you should buy, and then, you know, 6 months later tells you, hey, maybe you should grab this type of thermal printer just because they got a free printer in the mail or something like that. You know, that's kind of a hypocrisy that you just can't stand. Or I've seen this one too. It's like the double whammy. They're out there and they're buying a particular thing that's selling okay, and they just completely decimate the market. They ruin thrift stores for everybody because they're putting this information out there, and then it hurts the very people that they say they're actually trying to help. You know, there's certain items out there that don't always go that good, and if you're going to go out there and voice it, and people are going to end up with a bunch of stuff that they don't need, they don't want, and they can't sell. You know, I am still recovering from all these guys coming to my house, and ladies. Haven't even cleaned off my front porch, and look, nobody even cleaned up their stuff. All those lawn chairs out there that I was going to sell, you know, at least they got some good use out of them. You know, and if you're going to tell people to sell some nasty, dirty stuff, then you better be able to reap the whirlwind when people don't follow you. So here we go. This is some really, really old, kind of dirty, kind of, you know, damaged, even some water damage on these right here. But you know what? They sold for $59.95. No, I take it back. $49.95 for those old Chevy 59 to 60 and 58 shop manuals. These are actually going to the UK, believe it or not, plus shipping. As it heats up out here for the spring and summer, I'm selling jackets. Husqvarna. This one kind of makes sense though, because it's something that somebody might wear out there doing yard work, I suppose. It's not very, very heavy, but you ever find something like this, even with a little bit of damage on it, a little bit of discoloration? This thing sold for 80 bucks, y'all, plus shipping. I mean, listen, I saw this person put out a video about Funko Pops. They went to a yard sale. There was tons of Funko Pops sitting there, and they got all excited about the Funko Pops, and they even bought, I mean, there was like dozens and dozens there, and they even bought like 6 or 12 of them. And, you know, when people watch that, they think that Funko Pops are worth money. You know, so anybody that's going to do that kind of stuff, you got to just turn them off. Another little warning sign is somebody that tells you how to spend your money. You know, if they're saying, you know, this is what you should sign up for this service, do that. Or anybody tells you ought to pay for a bookkeeper, if you're going to go into this seriously, you know, they're spending your money. You got to watch out for folks like that. We're going to find these Ariat boots. I think these are, they had a little wear on them. I think they sold on discount. I think this is them right here. Pretty sure. I'll have to see. Maybe it's these that sold. Yeah, those look like men's. These are women's, I think. Yep, there they are. $5 pair of boots, and I put them out there. They did not sell forever, but see, I don't clean boots. I don't do the extra work. I don't polish them up. I could, but I don't. But these boots are awesome because you can stick them in these little boxes over here. Speaking of spending your money, you know, anybody that's not out there recycling boxes and going to the dump and getting all their materials for free, you know, that's what you ought to do. There's no sense in spending money on expensive shipping supplies. And anybody that tells you different, you know, probably time to unsubscribe. These boxes are, these shoes right here. Oh, that's going to be tough. I thought they might fit in that Walmart box right there, but I don't think they will. Might have to use a bigger one like that, but we'll put a little American Bubble Boy bubble wrap on it and use some, my go-to tape. Code Commonwealth, 5% off. You know, I could probably do a video on all this person's bad buys and just call it, don't buy this stuff at garage sales, whether it's cassette tapes or 8-tracks or lawn chairs or whatever the heck it is. You could make volumes of videos on what not to buy from this guy. Maybe even throw in ashtrays or stupid Tupperware or raggedy old vintage clothing or all kinds of stuff. So this one, Pepper's back, is, I bought these down at the Florida, the sale in North Carolina, the endless yard sale. And I paid like $2.50 a piece. This is a little dusty for them, and they're kind of slow sellers. Made in Hong Kong, size 44, black with a little fade on it even. A little bit of dirt right there, or dust or something. It's over $22 plus shipping. You know, I should have just done this from the get-go. Hey, look at that. This is a different granny square, y'all. This is a different one. There's the one that I have, the traditional looking Roseanne one. This has got some good colors. I decided we were going to list one over on antiquity, we have so many, I buy them all the time because I can't resist. It's kind of like, you know, I don't know, ashtrays. But I think we'll always have one running on a week-long auction over antiquity because I have so many and I love them so much. But at least maybe we'll rotate them in and out of here. I should have just told you this from the get-go, so you don't have to take my word on this guy. You could just go, if you just go over to Reddit, y'all, you'll figure out who to watch and who not to watch just by reading through the comments about them. So this is the person I'm talking about here today. So I saw an episode where this guy lowballed a sweet old man for an old vintage sports jacket. He was asking something like $30, and he reluctantly took $20. And the old guy was trying to tell him the story of how he got it and all that. And this guy just talked right over him. He got in his car and looked it up on eBay. It was worth like $100, and he just took off giggling and celebrating. Is that really the kind of person you want to follow? It was disgusting. He knew perfectly well it was worth a lot of money. And he couldn't even give the old guy a minute to hear his story. This is why most YouTube resellers are so hated. So there's one right there. Just go through Reddit and you'll find the ones that are just disgusting and you shouldn't watch. Here's another one from Renee Alfonso. I commented on this person's YouTube channel that he was jumping from talking points in his topic to picking up items to ship. And it was ridiculous and how long it was. And so I left the comment, and then I got attacked by his sycophants. It's a cool little piece. I picked it up at the 127 last year, so we've had it a while. Let me see here. Should be in this little bin. Is that the one? That is the one right there. A little Sony Walkman. It's not a cassette player. It's just a little tiny pocket Sony Walkman thing. And that one sold for $20, $19.95. I like this one. This is pretty telltale right here. It ought to really inform you a little bit. This guy sold his profession out to the Goodwill, to AI, to live selling on whatnot, all for little above minimum wage, and all of us get sold down the river. So there you go. And one more heads up, if somebody's hired an employee, I thought the bats were here. No, that's a warning sign too. Not a real reseller for sure. Definitely not somebody you should be watching. I had to, I guess, just move the bats to here and back there, I suppose. At any rate, 38 ounces. Look at that. That's actually a pretty good example. It's an old bat. This is nostalgic more than anything with the rubber handle from the 80s. And I picked it up for $5, and I knew it would sell because there's probably not one out there that looks as good as this one. Not too many anyway, so for 30 plus shipping. All right, we got a couple. Oh my goodness, look at that. Now we're gonna have trouble. All right, Uncle Brownie, Uncle Mike bought you that Hillcats hat. I like it. All right, what's your joke today? A little Commonwealth comedy.
What's a cat's favorite snack?
What's a cat's favorite snack? I don't know, what?
A mice cream cone.
A mice cream cone. Very, very good. Y'all like a mice cream? Which one of these is most likely to get a mouse?
Boots.
Boots for sure. No doubt about it. Pepper's too old. She's like, forget it. Bring me the... Although she likes to get the butterflies. That makes me sad. So, anyway, thanks, bud.
Bye.
I mean, this guy's even got the audacity, and there's comments on Reddit, you can read this too, of using child labor in his videos, having the audacity to put his own kids, his own family on videos and put them in jeopardy out there on the internet. All right, Reagan's got a sale on CommonwealthPicker.com today, and a cute little puppy. How you doing? He went to the doctor today, didn't he? You know, he's tired. Look at him yawning. He's like, I'll just take a nap. I'll chew on this chair. All right, what do you got?
Peter got a CWP sticker.
CWP sticker for Peter. CommonwealthPicker.com.
Bye, and don't forget to get your stickers at CommonwealthPicker.com.
This little low dollar sale here kind of surprised me as quickly as it went. It is a Lego Avengers, but it's just a manual. It's a big thick one for it. And that one sold for $7.95 plus shipping. And it went to Tom, the hodgepodge. Be honest, how much did you sell Bonanza for? Did you roll it into your majority holdings in FedEx? You must watch a lot. You have been watching a while. I don't know that I own FedEx anymore either. But I mean, don't own FedEx, but own a, you know what I mean. Rumor has it you bought Amtrak so you could travel and leisure while picking. Thank you, Tom. Hope you enjoy it. All right, y'all. I have a ton of work to do today because I bought so much last week that I've just got to get through it. So I got to head out to the other shed. Hey, look, Wallen's here too. That's very good. But last little word of warning. Anybody who's willing to exploit children and dogs for clicks to make money, definitely not the kind of person you want to watch. And I'll tell you what, I would suggest this, y'all. I really would. Really dig into the folks that you watch and make sure you're watching the folks out there that will give you information. I hope this was an informative video. A lot of people say, you know what, Kevin, your videos are just worth watching for background noise while I'm shipping. It's not really about reselling. And so hopefully today I provide a little bit of that information to keep y'all safe out there. Thanks for joining us. I can't wait to see you next. I gotta turn the light on. Time. You know, look at this. Holy moly. I mean, we got a lot to do today.